And it's raining again today. It's supposed to go on for the next few days. This is actually more normal, or do people prefer all the forest fires, the heat wave? You can just never win, huh, with the weather. And what's going on today? I guess to start off, I read this, which was kind of funny. Apparently someone posted a picture of the receipt of his bill in dining at a restaurant. I believe the restaurant is called something like Salt Bae in London, and the bill came out to almost like, what, $37,000? You can see it with the bill here anyways. Like, what is this, Golden Tomahawk? I was trying to research, like, what is this? It's like a steak where they put gold over it. But you can see with the price of things like, I'm assuming that's wine. Holy smokes! $19,900, as if the price of the steak wasn't outrageous enough. And the total came out to, yeah, $37,000. I mean, does a Red Bull really cost that much up there? Like, it says one Red Bull, $11. I think in that currency, what is that? Maybe like $15 to $20 Canadian for that? Either way, jeez. To me, this feels more like a flexing type of, I guess, restaurant where you can say, look how much I paid for this. I don't know if anything's actually worth that actual price for it. I've never eaten gold as an example, but is there actually any taste to it? Or is it literally just a way to jack up the price? And what's the point? I don't get it in that sense. What a waste of money if that's the reason why something is 10 times more expensive or whatever than it should be. Because to my knowledge too, just from reading about it, it goes straight down the toilet afterwards, like you can't even digest it either. And then I was reading this where it seems like there's another place where they want to, I guess, try to ban drones in general. Doesn't matter what it is. This one says, Brook Park Council mulls possible drone regulations. City Council is considering legislation to regulate the use of flying model aircraft, unmanned aerial vehicles, and drones inside city limits. A proposed ordinance was discussed at Council's October 12th caucus, saying, quote, I think we've needed this for a long time. Councilman Tom Troyer said, it's simple and this gives us a start to regulating drones. Why would you even need to do that if there's no, I guess, issue overall? But it says Council President Mike Vecchio asked if any formal complaints had been filed with the city regarding drone usage. Troyer indicated that he has received a few, as has Councilman Ed Orchid. The drone usage is being ramped up and we're seeing more and more of them, Troyer said. People are flying them everywhere. The objective is to establish reasonable and uniform regulations to minimize and control the negative secondary effects of flying model aircraft, unmanned aerial vehicles within the city, the legislation indicates. So what would this entail? It says, unless the operator receives express written consent from the mayor or police chief, a 1,000-foot restriction would be enforced to keep unmanned flying vehicles away from public or private school properties, all city-owned buildings, utility power substations, active crime scenes, cell towers, and active fire or accident scenes. Man, that's pretty much like everything almost, huh? Users also will be prohibited from sustained operation above roadways where the aerial vehicle could pose a distraction to drivers. Other regulations in the legislation restrict the infringement of people's privacy through unauthorized photographs captured by drones. This just seems like it's so over the top. It's from people who are uneducated about the tech and stuff in general. They do say here too, Troyer indicated that he does not anticipate any problems enforcing the restrictions. I think there will be, because wouldn't this conflict with the federal laws, for example, where it's more about where you can land and take off when it comes to those city ordinance and stuff anyways. So if someone's technically flying from somewhere else or whatever in the property that is deemed appropriate and they take off, fly over like a certain area, I would imagine there would be conflicts about that because they would be violating the federal laws of the FAA in the US. And just to prove my point, I guess, where it seems like it's a bunch of uneducated people, it says here, quote, the biggest thing is someone putting a camera on one and looking in people's windows. And that's the kind of stuff we have to stop, Troyer said. When needed, this legislation is going to be very handy. Violators could be charged with a first-degree misdemeanor. Again, please tell me why someone couldn't be charged with this in general without this ridiculous, I guess you could say, mindset of an ordinance. What's the difference again? Someone stands in the sidewalk inside a car with a huge telephoto lens that could zoom like, what, I don't know, 2 times, 5 times, 10 times, 100 times. It would be the same thing, correct? If they do something bad, then you punish them for that. This is just pure, I don't know, ignorance and hysteria, in my opinion. If anything, all this is gonna do, in my opinion, is push a false narrative again that anyone is flying a quote toy or whatever, like model aircraft, as well as quote spying on people. At the same time, it almost makes me think where some people suggested where anyone that wants to come up with a rule or regulation, they need some real practical experience, X amount of hours. I know in general it's a little impractical for one person to know everything, but in this case it's so ridiculous. I guess there's no flying today. I guess it's time for the archive. Alright, see you guys later.